So what we're trying to do is learn the caged octaves, and we're going to do it in the key of C. So pattern number 1 is right here. 3rd fret, A string, 1st fret, B string. And remember, the concept is it's this irregular sort of ladder system, this lattice work. And the highest position note becomes the lowest note of the next pattern. So pattern 2 uses that same pitch. And then this note is now transferred here. So this is the A shape of pattern 2, or the pattern, you could just think of it for now as octave shape 2 in the caged system, which is referring to the tuning and the order that the octaves appear in. Pattern 3 looks like this. By the way, you don't need to put your hand here. I just find it helpful. But you're just playing these octaves, and it's around sort of an open G shape. Pattern 4 takes these two pitches. You can grab it any way you like. Pattern 4 is around the E chord. It looks like this. If you took an open E major, and you just barred it, that's where you kind of get your F and these very traditional bar chords. Not sure if you know them yet, but you'll learn them soon if you don't. That's pattern 4. Pattern 5 is around the open D shape. This little D chord shape. You don't need to play the chords. It might be helpful. You just need to start to learn the octaves. When you get up there, pattern 1 starts over. It's now official. It's now 12 frets higher, a full octave higher, but the same exact shape. Then pattern 2, pattern 3. If you have an extra fret on your guitar, you might be able to grab pattern 4, and then try to go backwards. Try to see. It's always harder to go backwards. There's some mental thing about that. Pattern 5, pattern 4, pattern 3, pattern 2, pattern 1. So it's being able to be on a thing and then seeing the next one. You're basically reaching all the time. It's stressing your visualization capabilities. Now, what we did earlier in the lesson was pattern number 2, and we did it in minor. And the octave shape is the same, actually, as this here. If you did pattern number 2, right? Pattern 1, pattern 2, you're now C minor, because these are C notes, right? So you can do a pattern 2 in C minor and a pattern 4 that you know well in C minor. And what you'll notice is in the natural hierarchy of the tuning, pattern 2 appears lower. There's then a pattern 3 that we don't know yet, and then a pattern 4 up here. So when you're doing your pentatonics, you're running minor pentatonic number 2, do it in C minor this week. Alternate pick it. Just be nice and even about it. Start on the root. And I like to usually, if I have a nice symmetrical root, where I can get all the, like a full octave, I'll run that, and then I'll run the whole thing underneath and ping pong back. But start on the root. If you start down here, it throws your ear off because you sort of think that that's the beginning, even though the tonal center of the minor scale is quite literally the C pitch. There's just notes that we can access underneath it.
Mhm.
That would be, I would say, really realistic goals this week is learn these octaves, because that's the architecture we're going to drop everything into. And then in the world that you're operating in right now, it's minor scale. That you know the minor scale number 4, we're dropping it in to this architecture, and in the key of C minor, it happens to be the 8th position. But also learn pattern 2, which is in the 3rd position.